bandy. What's the likelihood? So you were just saying you might get a section 59?
Yeah, section 59. If they decide to do anything with it, then that's between them. But we'll see.
Potentially.
Cut the cameras.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Owen. Stuart's over there doing cool, and Nick's behind camera, and he's got the sun in his face. We have today on what the is going on. We've got Bmw E46. It's a coupe. It was a 318, but now it's not. Now it's actually a turbocharged 6-cylinder, makes over 400 horsepower. I think 400 wheel horsepower actually. And the guy's into drifting. I haven't done a lot of drifting, don't know loads about it, but I want to experience it. He knows every inch of this car, and as in true Motor Addict style, he knows, like I say, he knows every inch about it. And I've got a feeling he's going to use it to its potential. So, I haven't even seen under the engine bay yet. I don't know anything about it. So we're going to have a walk and talk and see what it's about. Home built goodness. Here we go. This is Warren. Warren.
Hello.
Hi guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving us the time. So every now and then we come across someone who really fucking knows what they're talking about, and you seem to be one of those sorts of people.
Oh, I don't know about that.
It looks it after what we've been talking about. So this is ground up. Let's just make a point. How this car was built in 21 days. Who has done that out there? Who has done that? I would want to hear it if you have. But anyway, so this was so just give us a quick rundown. It started off as a 318 coupe, was it?
Started off as a 318. It was a completely road-going car. Picked it up on the trailer, brought it back here, and basically gutted it to a bare shell and started.
Probably in 20 minutes or something.
Yeah. Literally in 2 days, actually. 2 days.
It was all gutted.
2 days to a bare shell, and then from that moment to a full build was 21 days.
I can't believe that. I mean, people take years. It takes me years to do anything half as decent as that and as complete. So it's a 3 litre one, is it?
No, this is a 2.5.
2.5 litre, and it's been turbo.
It's been turbocharged.
Can you just give us a shot? I haven't seen under the bonnet yet, so I want to have a look under it and see what's exactly going on. There's a lot of fiberglass. So
Fiberglass bonnet, fiberglass wings.
Yeah.
Fiberglass rear quarters, and fiberglass ducktail.
And you said it weighs about 1,100 kilos.
1,100 kilos.
Which is light for an E46.
Which is light. They start off around 1,700 kilos.
Do they?
Yeah.
And that is a work of art, that engine bay, isn't it? It's so neat. Making power these days ain't the problem, is it? It's making it tidy.
Well, to be honest, as much as I love the fact that it looks very clean and very tidy, but it wasn't actually the plan. The plan was when you start getting into performance parts that they turn up shiny.
Yeah.
So by the time I changed a few bits and bobs and it started to come together, it started looking quite pretty. So then I ended up carrying on and started doing the engine bay. Repainted the engine bay white. I've done the interior of the car white as well.
It's so neat. So and it makes you, am I right in thinking, from what I read, it's 400 wheel, is it, or just over there?
413.
Yeah, at the tyre.
At the tyre.
Yeah, that's just right up there. And what turbo has it got on it?
That's a GT 3582R.
Right. Okay.
Dual ball bearing and billet compressor wheel.
So it comes on boost like quite quick?
The problem with these as stock engines is you can't have early boost.
Right.
If you start getting early boost, it's going to throw a rod through the block.
Right.
This is a completely bog standard engine out of a BMW 325 with a turbo strapped to the side of it.
Yeah.
So basically you need to get everything moving internally before you start introducing boost.
Before you start put boost into it.
So this will come on boost about 3,100.
Right.
Which is quite early, really.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's not exactly late.
For a completely standard engine. We're talking no head bolts, no upgraded head gasket, nothing. That engine is exactly been pulled out of a 325, dropped in here with a turbo
on, and that's it. And it's about £10 a boost it runs, does it?
It's 10 psi.
Yeah. This intake manifold though, it's nice. It is a good bit of kit, and it goes. So I mean, at that sort of weight, it obviously moves all right.
Oh,
I mean,
it flies.
You've been on track with it as well.
Yeah. We do between 2 and 3 track days a year.
Yeah.
Just as a hobby, no competition stuff. Just for a bit of fun.
It's a work of art, mate. So inside, let's just have a quick look inside. So there's a couple of, I mean, as any race car is, it's a couple of bucket seats and
well, I didn't bother going with full cage because of the weight again.
Yeah.
I wanted the half cage, so you keep a bit of weight over the back end. I've got rid of the standard fuel system, gone fuel cells.
Yeah.
To again move the weight back
to the rear.
So we're trying to get the car as balanced
so
as
drifting,
possible.
for drift, I don't, because I don't know a lot about it. I didn't really think about where the weight's distributing in a car, but that's obviously a factor then.
You will need to try and get the car completely balanced. I know that's almost impossible.
Yeah.
So you're trying to do the best with what you can.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to add weight with something that's usable.
Yeah.
You know, not throw a bag of sand in the boot of your car.
Right, yeah.
You know, if you need an extra bit of weight, add a bigger battery.
Right.
You know, the
okay.
battery is giving you the
so
power.
that helps when you're using it for drifting. Having the weight balance is actually contributes to the way the car handles and the rest. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, right,
if the back end's too light, it's no good. You haven't got no grip. Everyone thinks that in drifting that you should have no grip.
Yeah.
Completely the opposite. You need power and grip.
Right. It's for tyre smoke and being able to accelerate.
And you need to be able to accelerate, even though the wheels are spinning, but you spin them quicker.
Yeah.
And then they start biting to power into power out of a corner.
Yeah.
And then being able to transition.
See, I didn't think, and it's got a welded diff in it.
Welded diff.
Yeah. I did catch a glimpse of the fuel cells and. So what made you go for like 2 smaller cells? Is that because
to be honest, a lot of people would normally run a single big cell and then run a swirl pot with a secondary pump.
Yeah.
I didn't want the secondary pump idea of it's another pump to fail.
For something else to go wrong.
Something else to fail, another load of fittings. So I decided to go 2 small fuel cells linked together with a balance pipe, with inline filter and single pump. And then depending on the track setup, so if we're doing lots of right-hand corners, you can swap the fuel feed from one cell to the other. So as much as you are constantly going around one way, the fuel eventually will probably
wash over to one side.
Do
you know what?
So you can literally whip the pipe off, swap it over to that side, if you've got more left-hand corners or more right-hand corners. And you're never ever going to starve.
You've obviously been doing this a while.
I've been doing it for a
learn
while.
that sort of stuff.
So you're never ever going to starve the engine with fuel and blow it up. Basically.
And what pump has it got on it? 044 is it?
044 Bosch.
Yeah, that seems
Bosch
to be
pump.
the way to go.
Yeah.
And there's a bit of a cage.
To be honest, when obviously this setup is soon going to be pulled apart.
Yeah.
We've got one more track day coming up. We're going to run this setup. After that, this setup's coming out, and then I will be going for a dual pump because I haven't got a choice.
And you've got something a bit special going in there, haven't you?
I have indeed.
So that's like fully built.
But we'll keep that quiet.
Yeah.
Keep that quiet.
Don't say much about that.
For the next video.
Mate, it's just to behold that and having it all done in 21 days. Anyone that's ever built anything.
The other thing is,
and you were working at the same time.
Absolutely, yeah. I had a full-time job while I was building it. Yeah.
Madman.
And now it's got to the point that my hobby has grown to the point that I'm now building drift cars Monday to Friday.
But I mean, your experience. I mean, that your experience is now being used. It's being utilised.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
I've got 3 cars on the build at the moment.
Yeah.
So yeah, keep them busy.
Keep them busy. I mean, that is a rundown. What suspension and brakes is it on?
It's got BC coilovers.
Yeah.
All the way around. They are true coilovers on the rear, so the shell has actually been strengthened to cope with that.
Okay.
Where normally it'd be on separate shock and
That's
spring.
You've got a separate shock and a spring, haven't you?
That's it. So the top arms have then been changed for adjustable ones. So it's got adjustable top and bottom. The whole back end has rose joints. There's not one poly bush under there. It's all rose jointed.
I didn't know it had that much done to it, because I know that's a lot of work in itself to change it over to full coilovers.
Even the trailing arm bushes, the big trailing arm bushes, even they are rose jointed.
Is it noisy on the road?
Very noisy on the road.
They are, aren't they? I've noticed.
them wheels do not move.
Yeah.
When you're drifting this car, if you want that wheel within 4 inches of something,
You know where it's
I
gonna
can
be.
put that wheel 4 inches of something.
Oh,
you know?
this guy.
So, because you know when it's going to let go and you know when it's going to grip.
Yeah.
If I've taken a friend out in it and we've come up to a tyre bow, literally to scare him.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, slide right up to it to the point that maybe I'm not as close as it feels, but
Yeah.
sometimes for him, 'cause he's
Yeah.
on the passenger side. So to the point that you could probably open the window and grab the tyre bow.
It's just it's predictability, isn't it?
Yeah, and then obviously transition and flick it the other way. But us accelerating up to that, you know, I know when I come off the power that it's going to grip at a set point and
Do you just judge how scared they are by how many fingernails are left?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, yeah. I think that's why I'm going to keep the standard dash. So
Yeah.
Standard grip onto.
There we go.
Yeah.
Rightio. Well, I suppose we better go out and have a go at this. It's one of those times that I feel a bit apprehensive, and every now and then they come around and I think, oh, he fucking knows
you're
his
gonna have
stuff.
a good time.
Oh yeah,
Have a
that's
good
what I'm on about. Anyway, so let's have a little drive, I
He
suppose.
seems
Then.
nervous.
Oh, I'm a little bit apprehensive only because he knows his
Don't say
shit.
apprehensive, just say nervous.
Yeah.
Pensive.
Pensive.
We'll
Right.
strap you in.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
Yeah. Looking at how he's driving, he looks quite
I'm just
sedate. It's
Yeah,
not like you're. It's not like you're
it's just
struggling.
very rigid, and that's why I'm slow over all these bumps. And
Yeah, even then, it don't feel any more than like a car on corner. It's like,
no, it is. Like when you go over certain things, it makes you cringe. Like
Yeah,
bang,
really?
Like proper bangs.
I bet you get some looks in it, didn't you?
Oh yeah, always.
It sounds alright, doesn't it? You make that look so easy, man. It's so ridiculous. Does she have any temperature problems or anything like that? It's just
No, nothing.
Absolutely rock
Literally,
solid.
I've got a fan on the switch
Yeah.
that's permanently on, just keeping everything cold. Up
Yeah,
the
yeah.
bonnet. But other than that,
Just behave
obviously
yourself.
the cooling system is changed.
Yeah.
So I've done my own. Sorry, that's the anti-lag.
Yeah, it sounds right. I noticed that.
I've done the cooling system. I've altered for better flow, and so the cooling bottom, like the normal plastic cooling bottle, don't exist.
Jesus.
Right, now we're going.
You make it look so controlled, like it's not, nothing's panicky.
No, it's smooth.
It's just like,
Smooth. Just,
you know.
the biggest problem with drifting is I find that as soon as your heart rate starts climbing, that's when everything starts going
You
wrong.
start panicking, like,
because your adrenaline's taking over.
yeah.
You know?
It looks so like peaceful. Like, it's
Yeah,
a bit
no.
ironic actually. Jeez.
And the other thing with the whole drift scene as well is someone that drifts well won't cane the shit out of their car.
Yeah, like you don't need
Right.
to.
I'm driving sensibly,
Yeah.
you know, with everyone else on the road. It's only until you get to a nice roundabout.
It's just, I don't know, because there was no violent sort of, like, extreme movements.
Yeah.
It was just very sort of, I want to say graceful in a way, because that's
it
kind of what
is,
it felt
isn't
like, you
It
know.
is kind of graceful.
Mate. So you're in, is that second or third then?
Because very set up for on track.
Right.
So that roundabout is very, very small.
Yeah.
So I was actually in first gear then.
Oh, really? Oh, right.
My first gear is very long in this with the setup that I've got.
Right, right. And is that a particular gearbox? What were you had the gearbox?
Not really. It's just the diff ratio.
Right. Oh, okay.
So the stock box in here, 2.5 with the 2.5 engine, is completely as inputs from BMW.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just that you change the diff ratio to then depending on what track you're on.
Oh,
So
right.
If you've got a very big track, massive big long corners, you need that longer ratio to be able to pull them corners.
Yeah. So it gears it down. So yeah.
But if you're on a very short track, you know, you need loads of RPM, not so much wheel speed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you can change the gear ratio, change the rear diff to like like sort of a 4.44 to 1 ratio.
Right, right.
So that would be absolutely horrendous to the point that this probably do 90 mile an hour flat out.
Yeah, that's it.
You know?
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
I'll be able to light the whole gearbox up.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah. Is it 5-speed?
5-speed.
5-speed.
5-speed. So yeah, the normal, you know, the diff I've got in here at the moment is a 3.07.
Yeah, that's long, isn't it?
It's quite long. Yeah.
But when it's on boost, it's quite quiet, isn't it?
The only problem is that with a drift car with a welded diff,
Yeah.
very, very lively.
What is in it? It's a bit
on
like,
the back end.
Yeah.
So really, with a welded diff, you don't want to be doing any more than 100 mile an hour.
no, because it's a bit dances
It's
around.
very,
yeah.
very twitchy.
Right.
Most of the time, drive to the book, you know, and don't go over 100 mile an hour.
No,
Simple as that,
no, no.
you know?
But you don't really. It's only competitive circumstances that you'd need to do that.
Absolutely,
presumably,
yeah. So everyday driving between 70 and 80 mile an hour is absolutely fine
Yeah.
with a welded diff.
I've got to say, I'm really surprised at how sedate it is when you're just like driving like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I know I said earlier, you know, I was expecting it to be crashier and you said, oh, it is, but it actually feels quite nice. You know, it's not like overly
Well,
sprung or anything.
When we had the fuel crisis and everyone was struggling for fuel,
Yeah,
this was the only car I had that had a full tank of juice in it.
yeah,
And no joke, me and the missus went shopping in this.
yeah, yeah. Well, gotta do what you gotta do.
I mean, don't get me wrong, like, you can't fit nothing in here.
No, no.
We've got a half cage of fuel cells. You know, there's no room.
Yeah.
But we still managed to go and do our weekly shop in a Poxy drift car. You know.
Throw it all in the back.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Are they behind it still, do you reckon?
I think so.
Oh, mate.
We're gonna get stopped. Oh, Bill.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, they're gonna catch us.
Yeah, the lights are on.
Yeah, they got us.
So it's all gone a bit bandy. What's the likelihood? So you were just saying you might get a section 59.
Yeah, section 59, and if they decide to do anything with it, then that's between them. But we'll see.
But we ultimately need to get back there with the trailer before they impound the car. Potentially.
Cut the cameras quickly.
Anyway, so, ladies and gents, that is what can happen in a situation where you're enjoying your passion. I was just saying off camera, what an attitude he's got towards it, where you're so passionate about something, you know, you're driven to do it. It's not just, I'll take it or leave it for you,
No,
Warren, is
absolutely
it?
not.
You've
Absolutely
got
not.
to do it, and it's something you enjoy.
It's a risk that you have to take because the tracks locally are all closing down, and there's less and less places to go.
Yeah.
So you are you literally have to bend the rules and try and do what you can where you can.
And like
basically.
you said, it's like if you know, by them taking the playgrounds away, the kids are going to find somewhere else
to play
to do it.
And I am that passionate about it, even when the police pulled me over just now, basically, and taken the car away. Simple as that. But you're not going to stop me from doing it.
No.
You're not going to stop me from doing it. It is a passion, and they've already had my license 3 times.
Yeah.
They'll probably take it the 4th time.
That's an admirable, if you care about it that much.
Absolutely.
You know?
It's in my blood. It's in my blood. I'm not going to stop drifting because they say so.
Yeah, mate.
You know?
It's just
simple as that. Is there anything that you can push, or I don't know what the police are getting involved?
I mean, to be honest, more and more that people are getting stopped, we are literally raising this concern and saying there's less and less tracks out there for you to go and play. So the council needs to sort something out, you know, and allow us to have some places that are properly organised, properly insured for us to go and play. You know, it's simple as that. And the problem is no one's doing it. So we have literally nowhere to go.
Yeah. It's like drag racing for you.
Yeah.
There's 2 tracks.
There's 1.5, really, and that's the same thing. And you know, I don't do it anymore, but I used to do it. I used to drag race on the street because that's just same thing. I had the same passion.
We're literally we're in Kent, and we're having to travel to Cornwall to go on the closest track. That is the closest track to us. That is lenient enough for us to basically get away with murder. All the other tracks, so many rules and regulations. One car has a little incident and maybe come off and go in the gravel. The whole thing comes to a standstill. The whole thing comes to a standstill, and now you're queuing, waiting for that car to be recovered on a truck.
It's
before you then get let loose again.
Exactly.
You know?
It's also
so half your day is taken up by inexperienced drivers coming off the track, which is fair game.
And they've got to learn.
They've got to learn.
Yeah,
They've got to learn.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's not even their fault. It's just the way it's organised. Down in Cornwall, honestly, absolutely fantastic. A car will spin out, the yellow flag will go out, and literally everyone has to pass that car at a sensible speed. Once you're past it, carry on drifting. You know, and it works.
It's still a bit of an underground sport in that respect, isn't it? Because it's quite a young sport in the UK. I know in obviously Japan and it's been around for years, but there's still people getting into it now.
Australia is the place to go.
There's still people getting into it now, and it's
absolutely,
it's been around probably 20 years, maybe.
Well, now I'm in Kent and building drift cars. You know, more and more people are travelling all over the place. I've got a customer from Oxford has travelled from Oxford all the way down to me.
Do you want to just give
to have a car?
Give your website and your stuff a shout out.
Basically on Facebook, I've only got a Facebook page because it's a little bit underground. But E46 Drift Builds, basically build all sorts of track day cars to the customer's preference.
There's and when you see, which you would have done, seeing the engine bay and the type of stuff, Warren knows some of the get-arounds and some of the by the research and development that he's done. You haven't got to spend millions to build a car capable of doing what
absolutely
yours is
not.
capable of doing.
Absolutely not. I'm building 2 at the moment on a £6,000 budget, and they're 2.8 engines and going to be drift ready.
Yeah, exactly.
Drift ready for $6,000.
So there you go. Hit his Facebook page up and get in touch with him. And he's
more than
probably
welcome.
got contacts for parts
Absolutely.
and that sort of stuff.
Absolutely.
So. There you have it, ladies and gents. It's a bit of a sore end. It's not going to stop him by the sounds of things. No, I was super enjoying myself, and that's what really put the kibosh on it. But if you like what you saw today, don't know how much of it we're going to get, because these people like Warren, are very few and far between, and I feel blessed that we were able to come and enjoy this with him, and he gave us his time this evening. And yeah, so if you like what you saw, like, share, subscribe, hit the bell where you can. And I hope you enjoyed that, because we certainly did.
Look, I'm a rock star in real life. We was doing Grand Theft Autos, hitting licks, home invasions. It was a good night. Take the goods to the plug, then he bring us back by 2K. Feeling like a baller, see the Jordan on my shoelace. Nuketown, stepping off buses, hopping on fences. Call of Duty, me and my niggas, we in the trenches. Camping at the crib, playing true crime.